abuse, not only by my cousin, but by grown-ass women. One of the women ended up dating my uncle after I quit her. Or I thought, well, no, after I stopped screwing her. All right, it's in the book. It's in the book. Just get the book.
Sexy to the left, sexy to the right, sexy to the front, sexy to the back. Nice.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Just Norwood 2.0. And of course, I'm Norwood Young. I hope you're all doing well and living your best life. All right, let's jump right in. And it's time for me to get on my soapbox. So today's soapbox topic is letting go / forgiveness. There comes a point in your life when you have to commit to letting go. If you hold on to stuff, whether it be with your family, your friends, to your financial situations, if you don't find a way to let go of things, it can show up physically. High blood pressure, depression, headaches, just a plethora of things that are just not good for you. So it's important to let things go. So that fight that you've had with someone, that grudge you're holding on to, let it go. In the scheme of things, it really isn't that serious. Now, don't get letting go confused with forgiveness. I recently came to the conclusion that it's okay not to forgive and to let go. I personally feel that there's a difference between letting go and forgiveness. Case in point, my situation with my abuse. I talked myself into believing that I forgave my abuser because I've always been taught that forgiveness is not only for the situation, but it's for you. In order for you to move on, you must forgive. So I talked myself into believing that I forgave my abuser. Bullshit. I can never forgive my abuser. In order to totally forgive, that means that you must give grace, give a pass. I will never forgive an abuser. I will never give an abuser a pass. So what I've come to realize, though, is that I have let it go. So I'm no longer in pain. I'm no longer a victim because I've let it go. But in terms of forgiving, giving a pass, giving grace, that will never happen. So now when I hear mothers or fathers of people who have murdered their children and they say they've forgiven them, it baffles me because that means they've given them grace. I ain't that dude. I'm not the one. I can't. I cannot say, I forgive you. I give you grace. It's okay. No, hell no. But for me, I've had to let it go. I've had to take my power back through letting it go. For me, I don't get my power back by giving you grace. So don't confuse letting go and forgiveness. Don't guilt yourself out because you can't forgive. It's okay not to forgive, but it's important to let it go, to give it no more value in your life. You've got to let it go. And while I'm preaching to you about letting it go and forgiveness, this episode will be a freeing experience for me because for the first time publicly, I am letting it go. Now I'm getting off my soapbox so we can talk. My woodpeckers, the people that I affectionately call those who are my fans and my followers and people who care about me. You all know that I've written a book called Getting Back to My Me, where I talk about my abuse and my surgeries and the things that I've gone through. However, I've never really on a platform like this discussed it. I'm going to do that, but this will be the last time that I address the abuse. It will be the last time that I ever address any surgeries. I am letting it go. This next chapter of my life that I'm absolutely loving will consist of none of that. I am letting it go. But until then, let's talk about it. From the ages of 6 and maybe 13 or 14, I was molested and raped repeatedly by a family relative. During the course of those rapes, I was consistently called pretty boy. Pretty boys get treated like this. I'm going to show you what pretty boys get. Those are the things that stayed in my head. Those are the things that haunted me. Those words, pretty boy, pretty boy, pretty boy. Now let's not get it twisted. I was cute. I was a cute baby. I was cute in school. I was cute. I was. I had no problem getting girls. I had no problem. In fact, I was so cute that the women were even sexually abusing me. I didn't know it was sexual abuse then. I just thought I was nasty, and I just thought I was getting it because I was cute. But simultaneously, I was being abused by my male relative. All the details of this are in the book, Getting Back to My Me. And it's a little difficult for me to relive right now, so bear with me. But in either case, throughout all the sexual abuse and the pain and the guilt and the shame, what stayed prominent in my brain was pretty boy. Around 2003, 2004, after a bit of success in my career, after Star Search and Pieces of a Dream and Soul Train and Millie Jackson stuff, a terrible thing started to happen. I was living in my home in Hancock Park, and everything seemed as though it was fine until one day I looked in the mirror and started hearing voices in my head. In retrospect, we know that if you hear voices in your head, there's something rotten in the cotton. If you're hearing voices in your head, then maybe, all the boxes aren't being checked. But nonetheless, I started hearing pretty boy, pretty boy. Every morning in the mirror when I was getting ready, I started reliving what I was experiencing from 6 to 13. So now I have money, and plastic surgery is not anything that's frowned upon on, not really, in Hollywood. It just is, what folks do. So I decided that I was going to do whatever necessary to change my appearance to remove the voices. So I did many things. I changed my nose, ultimately 4 times. I changed my nose. Let's talk about the nose. First time I had the nose done, I wanted it not narrower here. I wanted it narrower here. I wanted it more narrow here, not necessarily here, but in here. But they cut the tip off. So I had to have surgery number 2 on my nose to put the tip back on. However, number 2 still didn't fix number 1. So I had to have the 3rd nose surgery. Problem with the 3rd nose surgery is that it collapsed. Like, I'm talking almost Michael Jackson collapsing and not being able to breathe. So I'll talk about how I got out of that in a second. But I changed my nose. I still have a scar here because I had chin implants. I wanted a dimple. I was trying to remove the old face while thinking that I was aesthetically giving myself a better look. I even started modeling with this new face. I had chin implants, a little dimple, had cheek implants, um, just anything. Well, liposuction don't count, but yeah. So I had basically been having a public mental breakdown over a period of time. I masked it as vanity, but it wasn't. It was trying to cover up pain that I did not recognize at the time because I did not get therapy at the time. So I didn't put the two and two together of hearing voices and simultaneously not cutting my wrist, but self mutilating. So every time I hear a voice, I would simultaneously change something. So by the time I finished mutilating my face and creating another one, I realized months and months and months later that I created a monster. And it was something that was created out of darkness, something that was created out of pain, and something that was created out of a mental imbalance. We have to be careful when we notice drastic things going on in people's lives because sometimes there might be a source. But in either case, I realized that I created this monster, and we have some graphic photos to show you. And with my nose is completely pinched, I'll have Ken, who's in here with me now. I'll have Ken show you my video of Eighth Wonder of the World, one of my most favorite songs. And now when I look at it, I have a hard time enjoying the song so much unless I don't look at the video. Because when I look at the video, I see how much pain I was in. It's a reminder, of the pain I was in. So I realized that I was not happy with my presentation. So what I then did, because by this time I'm not afraid of the knife at all. I shouldn't say this, but they gave me some propofol. That was the gas they gave Michael Jackson. So anyway, I contacted and researched reconstructive surgeons, surgeons who put people back together after major car accidents or deformities or and things of that nature. So I found a reconstructive surgeon who removed everything that I had done, removed the cheek implants that were there, removed the chin implants, um, and corrected stuff that I had done. Um, so now I'm at a point of not only healing physically, but healing mentally. I don't look, well, I don't know if I look like what I would have looked like because it didn't happen naturally. But I did the best I could do to not be a monster in my brain anymore. The ironic thing, though, is when I had done all the disfiguring of my face, the voices went away. But at what cost? So I had to then again go through another process. But this process with therapy made me feel much more whole. So now I got to a point where I said, no more surgeries. Things have healed the way they're going to heal. It's going to be what it's going to be. And quite frankly, I did not find my appearance or do not find my appearance gross by any means. However, when my nose started to collapse, number 3 started to collapse, the thing that I love to do most without effort is sing. But because my nose had started collapsing, it was hard to breathe. So the tones in my voice started changing when I'm speaking and when I'm singing. In fact, when I went on television to do Botched, let me tell you how Botched came about. I had decided that I was going to live with my collapsed nose, bump it, the people were talking anyway, and it was what it was. However, the producers of Botched contacted me as a celebrated person or whatever and said, listen, we've noticed that you have a condition. Would you come on our show free of charge and we'll fix the condition? Hot dog. I'm like, oh, yes. Yes, because I said I'm not paying for any more surgeries at this point. And Kim can show you some footage from Botch where Kim and I had a consultation, and she's actually telling me for the first time when we're at lunch that she noticed a difference in the sound of my voice. And look how it just does this. Look.
But it looks, oh. Now, can I say this as a friend? Yeah. I did notice you talking funny. I was like, Norwood sounds a little nasally.
Right. I've just decided to get surgery one more time.
Oh, no, you're not. No, you're not.
So when I was singing, I'd have to consciously rephrase how I could sing and rephrase my words so I could breathe so you could understand what the hell I was saying. So my love for singing became an effort. It became work. But I was willing to do the work to not only get away with it, but to make a living until Botch called. When Botch called, it saved my life. And although there are some, I think it's here, there's some little things that happened, and then there's a scar here, I'm fine with it. And like I said earlier in the show, my woodpeckers, you guys that love me, I call the other people, the haters, keloids or scar tissue. Like the sign of the scar is there, but you don't hurt me anymore. I've been through so much, and it wasn't through vanity. The assumption, especially the newer generations, the assumptions are that it was vanity. It was never vanity. It was a mental breakdown. So I've been through so much that the keloids, the people, the haters, they don't affect me anymore. Now, when I look in the mirror, I am not displeased. I see a journey. I see a person who went through hell and came back from it, a winner and a survivor. Here's the deal. I would never, ever want anyone to experience even a little bit of what I've been through. But because of what I went through, I'm not to be messed with on any level. Because I've come through what I went through, there's nothing that I cannot do. I don't know how to describe it to you. I'm not thankful for it. I'm not grateful for the pain, but I'm grateful for the journey. Because had it not been for a supportive family who had no idea of what I was going through, but supported me in whatever I was going through, had it not been for them and my woodpeckers, I would probably be dead by now. But I don't know too many other people who have gone through abuse, surgeries, and the things that I've gone through, who have changed laws, who have been the first to create things and to be the man that I am. So with that, again, I don't wish it on anybody, but I would not, if I had to do it over again, if I could end up where I am right now, so be it. So I guess I'm saying all of that to say this. I've let it go. So from this point on, as I said earlier, you'll never hear me discuss it again. I'll never talk about the abuse again. I'll never talk about the surgeries again. So for the keloids and for the people of the scar tissue, for your comments and this, that, and the other, knock yourselves out. I'm going to continue to do what I do, and that is to sing, to entertain, to heal through my music, to bring people together through my music. Now that I've discussed all that stuff, I want to take you on this botched experience with me. Let me tell you something. When I saw 10 seconds of me on that table on Botched, when it aired and my eyes were taped closed like I was dead, let me tell you something. I couldn't watch it. So I still to this day have not seen the operating stuff on Botched. But the experience was, I'm gonna tell you, it was a divine ordered experience, because I'd gotten to the point where I said, okay, God, I've done this to myself, although not my fault. I've done this to myself, and I'm willing to deal with the consequences. I'm willing to deal with the comments. I'm willing to deal with this. And once I surrendered, this telephone call came in, and I brought my best friend, Kim Whitley, in.
If this is all because of what you need to breathe and smell and sing, yep, I'm all for it.
To support me, and she did. And the doctors were fantastic.
Really? So this is really inhibiting your ability to... Yeah, can we have a little sample?
He wants to have flowers just because.
Many, many years ago, I used to do an online show called Let's Talk Ish. So you know what ish means. But I used to do the show in my bathroom, sitting on the toilet, talking ish.
Let's talk ish, let's talk ish, let's talk ish, let's talk ish. Hey!
Get it? So, when I started the show, it was pre-botched. So when I went on Botched, I was not allowed to show my nose. So in order to do the show, I'd have to put rhinestone covers on my nose, mask on my nose. It was amazing to me. It was funny because I still did the show and it was fun. But then I had a reveal at a very posh venue in Beverly Hills where a lot of celebrities came out, and I had to wear a mask. We have footage of it. I'm going to show you. Well, let's watch it.
Let's give it up for our friend, Norwood Young!
Today is the beginning of the world seeing me in my element and happy for the first time in many, many years. So are you ready to see my new nose? This response that I'm receiving is amazing. So the Bosch experience was great. So let me just say this. Thank you so much for letting me let go. Here in Bangkok, since I've moved to Thailand, unless someone Googles me, they have no knowledge of anything that we've discussed. None whatsoever. Their appreciation for me is strictly based on my talent, on my personality. I love that feeling. That's the feeling I hold on to. That's another reason in this chapter I have to let go of that. I can't even relate to it. I can't even, yes, it happened. It's archived, but it is no longer a part of my future. It's done. And I want to thank you guys for allowing me to let go with you. So I'm going to encourage you, however, to buy the book so you can read more in depth of the abuse, not only by my cousin, but by grown-ass women. One of the women ended up dating my uncle after I quit her. Or after I stopped screwing her. All right, it's in the book. It's in the book. Just get the book. But the next book, I'm so proud to say, it won't even address any of this. The next book will be all about the now and the happy. So thank you guys for hanging out, and I will see you next time. Norwood.